Today, on this new episode of Esto as PGA TOUR Latinoamérica, we arrive in Tulum, Mexico for the Bupa Tour Championship. This is not only the final event of the 2022-23 PGA TOUR Latinoamérica season, but the last tournament in the Tour's rich 11-year history. Next season, the PGA Tour introduces PGA TOUR Americas. But first, the Bupa Tour Championship, with a field limited to the top 60 players in the Totalplay Cup standings. Here in Mexico, the Tour will crown not only the champion of this year's Totalplay Cup, but also determine cards for the next season. Who will earn status to play on the Korn Ferry Tour? Who will be exempt on the next level? So many questions, and we have the answers. Esto as PGA Tour Latinoamérica. After 11 regular season tournaments in 7 countries, the PGA Tour Latinoamérica season culminates this week in Tulum, Mexico, at PGA Riviera Maya. A demanding par 72, 7,272-yard course will test the ability of the Tour's best players.
Muy contento de que haya podido yo regresar al evento final, ¿no? Más con los cambios que van a pasar en todo esto del PGA Tour de las Américas. Yo creo que es suma importancia que pude haber yo retenido mi tarjeta. Es una semana muy importante también para mí. Un buen resultado me puede tanto salvar la primera etapa de Q-School como me puede meter al top 5, ¿no?
For the third consecutive year, the tight PGA Riviera Maya layout will take players through the Mayan jungle as they deal with the 18 holes set among natural lakes and cenotes. This week, only the top 60 Totalplay Cup points earners are eligible to play, but only 54 of them are playing.
There's so much that can happen. You can start worrying about what other guys are doing, but if you just go try and win the tournament like every other tournament, it'll take care of itself.
They represent 13 different countries. While the Tour has reduced the field size this week, it has raised the number of points and money up for grabs. Set at $200,000 for the second consecutive year, this is the largest purse of the season.
Golf this week, just play good golf, have fun. I think patience is a big key out here.
This no-cut 72-hole event will be a race to Sunday as players, rewarded for their fine play all season, have one last chance to make their marks.
It'll be good. Just got to take care of my business and just play, stick to the game plan, not play against anybody, and just have fun.
With so many things on the line this week, the most important one is, of course, the Totalplay Cup.
Every week here is a lot of points. Just this is a little bit more, but you know, every event is important. With only 13 events, they're all important. This one just is the last one, so it feels a bit more important probably, but yeah, I feel good.
Although 16 players have mathematical chances of winning the Cup, only 6 of them are in control of their own destiny. Everybody else is relying on how other players perform.
Man, having a lot of fun, honestly, right? It's Tour Championship, it's had a great season this whole year. Some tough holes out there, and probably gonna accept a few might go in the trees, but just accept it now and have a good time.
The players who can win the Cup and Player of the Year honors and the Totalplay Cup bonus of $20,000 in US dollars are Canadian Miles Creighton and US players Walker Lee, Chandler Blanchett, Austin Hitt, and Connor Godsey, as well as the New Zealander Charlie Hillier. Hot and humid weather, where the feel-like temperature reached 100 degrees, made for players constantly seeking ice and other ways to keep themselves cool during their rounds.
La clave fue la paciencia hoy día, a pesar de que no partí muy bien en mi primer hoyo, la tiré al agua. Pero hay que aceptar los errores en esta cancha. todos vamos a cometer errores y hay que aceptarlo y nada, ser paciente porque es una cancha que te puede dar como te puede quitar y te quita más de lo que te da.
With tough conditions abounding and the course playing extremely difficult, only 9 players were able to break even par on the opening day. In the first group to tee off on hole number 10, Justin Doden fired 4 birdies on his first 8 holes to set the pace. Adding 2 bogeys and another 3 birdies down the stretch, Doden carded a 5-under 67, and that was good enough to take the 18-hole lead. In second place is Chile's Carlos Bustos, 1 shot ahead of New Zealand's Harry Hillier, holding down the 3rd position.
Agradecido de estar acá, disfrutando y feliz de poder estar aquí.
A group of 5 players is tied for 4th after shooting 2 under par 70, including Mexico's Alvaro Ortiz and Rodolfo Casaban. On another hot and humid day, the course firmed up and became even more of a challenge.
Today was much more difficult. I felt hotter today. Got off to a little bit of a slow start today. I was 2 over, I think, through 7 or so, 6 or so. And then I birdied there on 7 and kind of got the mojo back. But yeah, I thought it was a little more difficult today.
Doden was able to keep his momentum and extended his lead from 1 to 4 shots, even after carding a 1-under par 71. And his steady play allowed him to enter the weekend at 6 under par overall. He is 4 strokes better than a quartet of players who stand in second place at 2 under par, including Mexico's Jorge Villar. All he did was fire the best round of the day, a 4 under par 68.
There's a lot of golf to go, but yeah, it's a good spot to be.
Villar is joined by Alvaro Ortiz, current Totalplay Cup leader Miles Creighton, and New Zealand's Harry Hillier. A high point of the day was Tony Hakala's hole-in-one on number 5. The Finnish star from the University of Texas hit a 5-under from 206 yards for his ace. There to watch the ball fly in the hole were members of the Hakala family. Stay tuned, because after the break, we find out who wins the Bupa Tour Championship.
I think, you play well, you can control your own destiny. So it's up to me, right?
Who is Player of the Year, and which 5 players will play on the 2024 Korn Ferry Tour. Next on Esto, as PGA Tour Latinoamérica. PGA Tour Latinoamérica. Moving day saw things change on the leaderboard. Trailing by 4 shots at the beginning of the day, Mexico's Alvaro Ortiz carded a 3-under 69 to catch 36-hole leader Justin Doden.
Fue un día interesante. Creo que he jugado muy bien los 3 días. No he tenido mi mejor golf, pero me he mantenido tranquilo y es algo que se necesita en este campo.
The Minnesota native had his first tough day of the week, shooting a Saturday 1 over 73.
I battled all day long today, and I'm really happy to, hey, we're in the mix. 18 holes of golf, so that's where you wanted to be starting Thursday.
Even with his struggles, Doden retained a share of the lead with Ortiz. The co-leaders stand at 5 under par, 211, with a single shot keeping them ahead of the rest of the field.
Creo que es un muy buen reto de tee a green y la verdad pues es un gusto que tengamos un campo así para la final, ¿no?
In solo third is Chandler Blanchett, whose 4 under 68 put him right in contention to not only win the tournament, but the Totalplay Cup. Right in the mix is Mexico's Raul Pereda in 4th place, and Jeremy Gandon from France, alone in 5th. Ortiz, Doden, and Blanchett will be the final group to tee off on Sunday morning as they play the last round of the 2022-23 PGA Tour Latinoamérica season. Everything is coming down to the final 18 holes. It will be a Sunday fun day.
You know, this is why we practice and this is why we work so hard, so here we go.
The time has come to relive the standout moments of our players through their social media platforms. Jose de Jesus Rodriguez's triumph at the Jalisco Open Guadalajara marked his 6th victory during his tenure on the PGA Tour Latinoamérica, and this serves as a retrospective of the tour's top achievers since its inception in 2012. Bupa Mexico once again took center stage as the primary sponsor of the tournament, which served as the grand finale of the PGA Tour Latinoamérica season. As a part of their commitment to advancing golf in the region, Bupa Mexico rewarded the highest-ranking Mexican players in the Totalplay Cup with individual bonuses of $5,000 each. The fortunate recipients were none other than Alvaro Ortiz and Raul Pereira. Let's now take a look at a recent triumph by a PGA Tour Latinoamérica graduate on the Korn Ferry Tour. Argentinian Alejandro Tosti carded a remarkable 62 in the final round to claim the Pinnacle Bank Championship and consequently secure his promotion to the PGA Tour. Congratulations to Alejandro. A partly cloudy but steaming hot morning greeted the players as they arrived at PGA Riviera Maya. They knew someone would emerge with the trophy. Would the winner of the tournament also win the Totalplay Cup? Who would finish in the top 5? And who would just miss? The trio of players battled their way into a playoff to make things even more interesting at the last round of the 2022-23 PGA Tour Latinoamérica season. When the dust settled at the conclusion of the round, nothing was settled as 3 players finished regulation tied. Did we really want to end the season when we could play just a little more golf? There needed to be a little more drama as U.S. players Justin Doden and Chandler Blanchett, along with France's Jeremy Gandon, were deadlocked at 6 under par, 282. Just missing the chance to get into the playoff was home country favorite Alvaro Ortiz and New Zealand's Harry Hilliard.
You know, it was a tough day. I knew there was tight packed. It's a tough course, so it's not like there's birdies every hole to be made. You got to stay really patient out here, and very proud of myself for really just staying focused on the only shot at hand, and then having a playoff at the end with 2 other great players, and 3-hole playoff is it's all you can ask for, right? It was incredible.
It was playoff time, with the players playing PGA Riviera Maya's 18th hole again.
Those are the memories and those are the experiences that I think you remember the most, and that's what we play for. So it's just an incredible finish to the season.
Would one hole be enough to decide a champion? The trio remained tied after the first playoff hole. So, off to another hole they went. Blanchett looked like he was going to secure the win after sinking a 15-foot putt for birdie, which he called electric. No problem for Gandon, though, as he responded by draining his birdie putt for a similar length to force a 3rd extra hole. Doden dropped from the overtime session when he only made par. On what turned out to be the final playoff hole, Blanchett hit his tee shot behind some palm trees, but was able to reach the green from there. He faced a 20-foot birdie putt. Gandon had problems of his own. He watched Blanchett 2-putt for par. And when he couldn't match the par, the victory was Blanchett's, his 2nd of the season.
I wasn't sure where I stood, but I didn't know if I won the playoff that I would definitely lock that up. So my focus was on, just trying to win.
The 600 points Blanchett earned for winning the Bupa Tour Championship were enough for him to also win the Totalplay Cup race. It was a winner-take-all situation at the last tournament in PGA Tour Latinoamérica history. Blanchett became the third consecutive U.S. player to win the Totalplay Cup, and he became the sixth from the U.S. to win Player of the Year honors. Blanchett will certainly spend time in Latin America next year, playing in the Korn Ferry Tour's tournaments in the region. 4 other players moved their careers along, as they will begin preparing to play on the 2024 Korn Ferry Tour. Meanwhile, those who retain their cards will compete on PGA TOUR Americas, which will begin in March of 2024. A 16-tournament circuit contested across Latin America, Canada, and the United States. Stay tuned, because after the break, the top 5 of the Totalplay Cup race.
Yeah, this tour has been great for me, huge for my development. Just learning how to travel, and you play different conditions every week. It's never the same. You're playing at altitude, you're playing different types of grass.
Next on Esto as PGA Tour Latinoamérica. Esto as PGA Tour Latinoamérica. Charlie Hillier, the New Zealander who finished number 5, played in all 12 events this season and made 9 cuts.
First year here, didn't know where I was going, had no Spanish, felt like the world was spinning. This year, the first 12 events have been awesome. They've been so much fun. There's so much less to think about, and the people down here are so welcoming. The Latin American Tour I recommend to everybody. You have a very good idea where your game's at coming down to Latin America.
Charlie Hillier ganhou com um score de 265, 19 abaixo do par.
His win at the JHSF Brazil Open was the highlight of his year.
Competing on the PGA Tour every week, playing in majors is kind of where I want to get to. So I know it's the right pathway through the Korn Ferry Tour, and I'm really looking forward to getting there and kind of seeing where my game's at.
In his second PGA Tour Latinoamérica season, U.S. player Austin Hitt finished in the 4th slot. He also played in all 12 events and made 10 cuts.
Man, it's crazy. Even going into today, I believed I could do it, but it wasn't a reality. Still had work to do today, and even going back a month ago, I didn't even think I'd be finishing this tour. So it's amazing.
Although he didn't win a tournament, he was a model of consistency, turning in second-place finishes at the Colombia Classic presented by Rocha Brothers, and at the Inter Rapidissimo Golf Championship presented by Volvo. Colombia treated Hitt very well.
I grew as a player so much. I feel like from the different kinds of travel as American, learning Spanish, I picked up some Spanish, going to different places, different courses, different conditions, learning to play with a caddy. There's all sorts of things that I never would have learned without coming down here.
Another American finished inside the top 5, and that was Walker Lee at number 3.
I was grateful for the opportunity, and it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the 12-week season where you can kind of, over the course of a year, put together a good season. And haven't said a bad word about this tour. The experiences we've been able to experience, being in Argentina for the World Cup, being in Patagonia, 5,000 miles from the house, as long as you have a good group of guys, it's a lot of fun, and the staff of Latin America was great. So far, this is the best year of my life.
He only missed 1 cut in his 12 tournament starts, and he won for the first time, capturing the Colombia Classic presented by Rocha Brothers.
Es momento de presentarles al campeón con ustedes, Walker Lee.
2 other top 5 performances earned him the right to move on to the Korn Ferry Tour.
It's nice to earn Korn Ferry Tour status. That was the goal coming into the year. With the qualifying schedule this year, you can't just go straight to the PGA Tour. Well, you can actually now, but you have to go through Korn Ferry Tour first. Obviously, if you don't finish top 5 final stage, you go to Korn Ferry Tour, and the way they're increasing the purses, it's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
Canada also had a representative inside the top 5. Miles Creighton led the Totalplay Cup with 1 tournament to play and slipped into the 2nd position.
Obviously, starting the week 1, I obviously would have liked to have finished 1, but you know, Chandler goes ahead and wins the tournament. There's not much you can do, so hats off to him. But yeah, you know, you start the year, we had less spots this year. We had 5 instead of 10, so at the beginning of the year, if you'd have told me I finished 2nd for the season, I'd have been, you know, thrilled with that.
He still had a solid season, making 9 cuts and winning for the first time at the Interrapidissimo Golf Championship presented by Volvo.
Recibamos con un fuerte aplauso de Canadá, Miles Creighton.
You know, felt like last year I was ready to, you know, make that jump, but being able to do it now and locking up some Korn Ferry Tour status for next year is, you know, exciting. I have, I guess, a couple months to try and figure out what I'm going to do, but you know, having that in my back pocket, and I'm ready to play the Korn Ferry next year.
Adding his name to the list of the other 10 PGA Tour Latinoamérica Players of the Year is Chandler Blanchett.
I mean, to win twice is awesome, right? Like, I think those win highlights are at the top of my mind when I look back on seasons, is like when you won. And to have this one be the finishing touch of the season is awesome, awesome.
The Florida native was the only player to win twice this season. The victories at the Roberto de Vicenzo Memorial 100 Years in Argentina and his Bupa Tour Championship title lifted him to the top of the Totalplay Cup standings.
And finally, number 1 from the USA and Totalplay Cup points winner, Chandler Blanchett.
This is, I mean, hands down, best year of my life, right? Our son was born just over 2 months ago, and he's at home waiting on me. I know him and Michaela are very excited for me to get here, and sure enough, I won like right before he was born, and now I won again, so it's incredible. I came down here with that as my goal. You know, let's be number 1 on this tour. Let's get full status on Korn Ferry Tour and lock that up for next year. Very, very proud of myself for getting that done, staying focused on it. You know, I put in the Korn Ferry Tour the last 3 years and had conditional, so I was kind of bouncing between reshuffles and ended up playing a lot of events, but it'll be nice to know next year that I can set my schedule. Here's the events I'm going to play in. So I'm very thankful for this year down here.
After an incredible span of 11 years and more than 160 tournaments across Latin America, PGA Tour Latinoamérica is bidding a fond farewell, paving the way for a fresh international undertaking by the PGA Tour. Introducing PGA Tour Americas, that will serve as the ideal platform to witness the emergence of new global golf stars. Much like PGA Tour Latinoamérica, Esto as PGA Tour Latinoamérica is saying goodbye. It has been 11 years, during which we have shared the stories and experiences of hundreds of players who have dared to explore a beautiful region like Latin America. To our thousands of followers, all that's left is to express our gratitude for tuning in every month. And we invite you to closely follow PGA Tour Americas through digital platforms. See you soon, my friends.